Hello there and good morning. Disdain and arrogance now appear to be Nicola Sturgeon's watchwords. As per usual, please like, subscribe and comment below. And when subscribing, please do press that little bell, but also select the all option, or you won't get any notifications when I publish a new video. The First Minister of Scotland, Nicola Sturgeon, seems to be so sure that she can do as she pleases in front of her adoring Scottish masses that she has now twice within a week given the wrong pre-scripted answer to pre-scripted questions in the Holyrood chamber. Now that may sound like a minor foul-up, but what it shows is that the First Minister cannot have been paying attention to either the question nor who was actually asking the question. They're pre-scripted soft questions, so surely she could try and make the answers look plausible. Yes, I know this goes on in Westminster too, but at least the effort is made to answer the questions correctly. If you've actually arranged for person A and person B to ask questions and have already written the answers to them, how hard is it to listen and then marry the two together? Unless she was just sat there, thumb up bum and mind in neutral, of course, or otherwise distracted. And that's why I call this out as disdainful and arrogant. It's an I don't really care attitude. The attitude of someone who thinks they're bulletproof and untouchable. Last Wednesday, the First Minister was asked a question about NHS Lanarkshire and gave an answer related to the next question she was asked. And yesterday, she was asked a question asking about an update on preparations for a public inquiry into the government handling of the coronavirus pandemic, and answered with details on education sector COVID responses. Does that sound like someone taking her job seriously, or like someone just going through the motions? Scottish Tory MSP Stephen Kerr raised a point of order about this with the presiding officer, Alison Johnston. Pointing to the two episodes, he asked what could be done to get the right answers from the First Minister, to which Johnston said it wasn't up to her to control what MSPs said. I must say, though, that I've seen the Speaker of the House of Commons pull up MPs, and even the Prime Minister on occasion, when they think they're on a ramble about matters unconnected to the question. And why? Because it takes up valuable parliamentary time that could be spent on forensically asking and answering questions. Letting a politician ramble is letting them off the hook. And how can the public follow what's going on or make sense of debates if any old answer can be given to any old question? Now, politicians will be very keen to look good and convince voters that they have their finger on the pulse and are someone with command of the details. Something that her supporters say Sturgeon is. Yes, they claim she's a detail person, although she does seem to suffer from amnesia quite a lot. But doesn't this really show a leader who doesn't now put in the proper spade work to even look credible? Someone who can't be bothered. Doesn't she now even care what people think? But the woes for the Scottish Government and its leader don't stop there. They've nationalised the shipbuilder Ferguson Marine, and then allowed Caledonian Maritime Assets Limited, which is the government-controlled body that owns Scotland's ferry fleet, to hand out the bidding for a contract to build 2 new ferries to service Islay to 4 foreign companies, not their own. 1 in Romania, 1 in Poland and 2 in Turkey. Sturgeon putting her international credentials on full display, no doubt. And the CEO of the state-owned Ferguson Marine, Tim Hare, gets nearly £3,000 a day. So Nicola is protecting shipbuilding jobs. Pity they're not Scottish shipbuilding jobs though, isn't it? Sounds like the SNP government has a sound industrial strategy then. And then there's this much vaunted publicly owned not-for-profit power company that would be set up so that the people of Scotland could have energy as at close a cost price as possible. Sturgeon got all the praise and plaudits as well as the positive press for announcing this policy back in 2017. But that project has now been quietly dropped. All unicorn promises and no delivery, hoping no one will notice. Now what's this about the UK setting up asylum reception centres in France? But before I get to that, I just want to say a massive thank you to all my Super Thanks, Patreon and PayPal supporters, as well as those that do buy a mug with my mug on it. Links in the descriptions box below. You really do help me keep this channel going. Now, according to the Telegraph, the UK will be setting up centres in France to make it easier for people to apply to enter the UK. This, it is hoped, will put an end to the Channel crossings. Sounds sensible and will potentially take the heat out of Calais. But will it? As far as I can see, those that think they will qualify will go to the centres. But what about those whose applications then fail, as well as those who know their applications will fail? What do you think they will do? And now we have a diplomatic spat with China, because according to the Times, the Speaker of the House of Commons, Lindsay Hoyle, has stepped in and stopped the Chinese ambassador to the UK from giving a speech on the Commons terrace to the MPs and Lords who are members of the all-party Parliamentary China Group. The Speaker did this because he felt it inappropriate to give the Chinese ambassador this airtime when those MPs and Lords that spoke out in support of the Uyghurs have had sanctions imposed on them by Beijing. And the Chinese Communist Party is not happy about being rejected like this. Oh well. And the Mail reports that the PM Boris Johnson has been told to go hard and go early to smash any new COVID surge. This comes after Sage modellers say that hospital admissions could climb as high as 7,000 a day in England as the cold months approach. And Boris has already warned the nation that he couldn't rule out another lockdown and that the controversial passport system still hangs over us. But these sage projections would make the pandemic worse than ever before. And finally, The Sun reports on the new Apple iPhones, iPads and Apple Watch that have just been unveiled, with the latest must-have gadget being the 5G-capable iPhone 13 with its see-in-the-dark camera, as well as improved batteries and the fastest chip on the market, or so Apple claims. And it now comes in pink too. So what's your opinion on Nicola Sturgeon? Please like and comment below.